The word batik is derived from the Javanese term ambatik, which means wide and dots. The artistry of batik is an ancient wax-resist dyeing tradition using fabrics. This craft originated in Java, Indonesia. Garments made using the technique of batik is an integral part of Indonesian lifestyle and culture. Today, it's commonly used as a part of rituals, celebrations, traditions, ceremonies, and even daily use. Initially, batik making was restricted to a technique called written batik. However, this time-consuming system was soon preceded by the technique of stamping. Stamping allows faster production and uniformity of patterns. The costs of batik created with the stamping technique is cheaper. The third type of batik creation is painted batik. It is not clear when the practice and art of creating batiks spread to Sri Lanka. It's presumed that the practice came to the island during the period of Dutch occupation. However, the tradition of batik making really gathered momentum during the last century. In Sri Lanka, the batik industry is a collection of small-scale cottage industries who have passed down the techniques through several generations. The batiks are primarily created to service the tourist market. Popular tourist destinations would be used as locations for the display and sale. Batiks are created to be used as wall hangings, tablecloths, beachwear, dresses, and bedding. Sri Lankan batiks have their own unique styles and motifs, which were honed over the last few centuries. Designs range from traditional to contemporary patterns. Creation of batik fabrics is a time-consuming and labor-intensive process. Being a totally handcrafted fabric pattern, the price of these items are fully justified. The process begins with the selection of fabric, which could be cotton or silk cloth. The initial step of drawing or outlining the intended design is done with pencil onto paper and then traced onto the cloth. The designs used could be a centuries-old motif or reflect the contemporary aesthetics of the artisan. The designs are then sealed on or off with a coating of wax, paraffin, and resin to create dye-resistant areas in the cloth. The wax is carefully applied using a tool called a chanting, which is a metal spout with a handle. This allows the even spread of the wax along with application of designs such as lines or dots. Years of practice allows for the application of intricate patterns in a skillful manner. For larger areas, sometimes a brush is used. Both sides of the cloth need to be waxed. The cloth is then dipped in a dyeing solution or bath. The cloth gets dyed in a specific pattern, which depends on the areas which have been excluded from the wax application. Originally, natural dyes were used in textile producing communities, but this has now given way to the usage of synthetic dyes. The cloth is first dried and then the wax washed off. This is a sustainable process as the wax can be reused. The artist who is intimate with the design to be produced then covers another area in wax which would be excluded in the second dyeing process. Depending on the final design and colors used, the process would be repeated many times, and sometimes dozens of times. A piece of batik fabric can take a few days or several weeks to develop, depending on the number of colors used and intricacy of the design. The final creation by the artisan is hung out to dry for one last time before being sold or made into a garment. Today, contemporary fashion designers are reviving the popularity of this ancient craft by creating modern designs and fashion, combined with the classic look of hand-created batik textures. The tradition of creating and dyeing of batiks is an important part of the culture and traditions of Sri Lanka. Moreover, the styles and designs in the island cannot be found in any other part of the world. Some batik industries will allow visitors to see the process firsthand, while shops focus on giving a tourist a range of creations, which are a perfect gift for friends and family.